MTG Joe here, welcome back. So it's like the last 24 hours for this season in the month. We are at 1,078, so we are in the top 1,200. I don't think I can just camp on that rating anymore. Basically what I've been doing is every day after the stream I play one game. I've been on a pretty good streak of just winning one game and just bumping me up 100, 150 spots. So we're going to kind of go with that approach. If we win the one, then we'll play some other decks and just keep the rank. If we kind of lose or try to keep it, trying to get to like 800-ish if possible, and then just park it till the morning and see how we do. So this is pretty much the deck I've been playing. It's a best of one Doom Foretold list. Esper, so blue, white, black. So we played this before on the channel. If you want the detailed deck tech, you can catch the last video. But basically, in the essence, you're trying to put out a bunch of enchantments that you then sack to Doom Foretold to break the parity with your opponent. It helps you control the board, so your opponents can't really play out spells. I like it in best of one because it has game with sweepers main, so it's useful against like the aggressive decks, but also against control. You have ways to pressure your opponent and keep their permanents. They're usually only winning with like a planeswalker or something like that. Notable changes: we've gone the Treacherous Blessing route as opposed to the Thirst for Knowledge, Thirst for whatever draw instant one. I like this better as it's a permanent. It gives me something to throw away to Doom Foretold. And the only other change I made was -1 Dance of the Manse and 1 Elspeth. Early game, she's good as a way to just create blockers. Late game, it's a way you can keep escaping back from your graveyard. It utilizes our graveyard a bit better as well, to be able to escape back in that sense. And it gives us another target for Elspeth Conquers Death. Dance of the Manse was kind of, I felt, a little win more, but it's from there. And then we just have the Castle Ardenvale in there as well. So best of one deck, you win basically through either Doom Foretold, Night Beats, Ashiok, or your opponent scooping because they don't like fun, or they don't like the fun you're having. 1078 still. Let's see how it goes. This is like probably the most anxious month I've had playing. Just because we've been pretty much top 1,200 for most of it since making Mythic. Had a really good run this month regardless of what happens. So quite pleased. Got there with basically brews of my own. Both mono black and this variation. So happy in that case. This hand is very good. This will help us find a land. We have something to sack the Doom Foretold and Teferi could get around counter magic. I'm actually going to bin that because I want an untapped land. Okay, so they have Omen of the Sea. So this is probably the blue-white control deck. The matchup's not terrible because Doom Foretold does a good job of playing like around Dream Trawler. So they go Birth of Meletis. So it's actually good as well because I can uptick Teferi here and it could protect us for the Doom Foretold to resolve. I'm going to keep both of these. There's no, hey Quantum, there's no value of bouncing either of these enchantments for the opponent. They just get utility, and I want to keep this around as fodder to the Doom Foretold. Okay, so they're banishing Light Teferi. That's fine. Let's just get Doom Foretold going. Because now I can Meletis next turn, get the land, and then play out the Teferi. So they can Teferi, bounce this Doom Foretold. It's not the end of the world. I'm 1078. Glass Casket. Yeah, so 1078 right now. So I'm actually gonna go. Do I want to just go Conquer's Death here? Yeah, let's go Conquer's Death. So Elspeth Conquer's Death. Exile this. Do I want it to Teferi? Because Teferi doesn't draw me a card. That's the only thing. Like, I could bounce this and then force him to sack the Narset. But I think we just uptick Teferi here. Okay, so they could Teferi bounce my Doom Foretold, which is not the best value for them anyways. I think I want Teferi around. So I could go Birth of Meletis. And then play out the Omen of the Sea at instant speed. Or I can Narset or Ashiok, bounce the Narset, but I kind of want to keep this around. Let's go Birth of Meletis here. Just play out the land and plus Teferi. There's just no value right now for me playing Ashiok. It gives them something that they can play. So they're not willing to commit to the board. Do I want to keep Othakaya? Othakaya can deal with a down tick on like a Teferi. I'm going to sack this. So here I'm going to Ashiok. I'll make a token. It lets me start attacking at least. And then I think we just pay 2 life. Treacherous Blessing is actually pretty good. They might have Shatter the Sky here. There was an option to keep the Doom Foretold and bounce that with the Teferi. But now they have a couple options they need. Okay, so they go Banishing Light. Let's see what they target here. So we'll just go Omen of the Sea. They might be holding up a counter. Thought Erasure is great. So let's start off. Let's see what's in the opponent's hand. I want to catch like a Dream Trawler or something. Okay, so they absorb here. I could bounce. What do they have in exile? Just a Banishing Light. So I could bounce this, which kind of forces them to reset there. Okay, they got rid of Shatter the Sky. Sweet, just took them out there. So we had a couple options. I was going to play Treacherous Blessing, draw the cards. Okay, so we're at 870. I think I'm going to stop playing Ranked and see if this holds. But we'll play a Brew and then kind of play from there. I just want to kind of hold on to that. So there was, what do I have? I have Aristocrats. Okay, let's play some Aristocrats. Let me just cut this stream for a sec. I'm just going to tweak up the deck list. I want to get this exported, and I'll be right back with the video. Okay? So I'll be back.